Taking a look at the EURUSD. So basically we broke this zone slightly, but really it's all the way down since we got rejected here by this resistance line. Now here what could turn out to be is some sort of triangle, and then maybe a break to the downside since the overall momentum is pretty bearish. And here along the trend line we saw this push down, which was kind of the second or the third touch, so looks like we will head much lower. So the bearish momentum continues. On the longer term for the EURUSD, here on the 1 hour chart, kind of double bottom, and here slight divergence on the CCI, which means we could head to somewhere around here. So if we go down to maybe the 30-minute chart, for now we are pulling back, but here we had a bullish candlestick which was kind of an engulfing one and took out all the three candlesticks prior and this red one. So if you go down to the 50-minute chart, here we got rejected, and now we are so we basically closed above this one and above this resistance line, and now we are coming here back for a retest, which at the same time here comes along the second retest of a trend line here. This green candlestick also took out all the three bearish ones, so initially we could enter here along and target somewhere around here with a stop loss. Depends either here or here or here, depends how tight you want it. Or what another possibility would be is to see a break out of this zone and then maybe a retest to here again and then be a buyer. So these are the two options, but the short term looks like we could still go higher. The longer term is bearish. Here on the 5-minute chart, the double, or actually we had another double top here, a smaller one, and the divergence. So here the breakout above this line, now coming back for a retest. So now if we go down to the 1-minute chart, here kind of a triangle being formed at the edge to the downside. Here breakout, here a retest, and here this candlestick was engulfing all three of them, which means here we could start looking for buys at this zone here. So if we maybe can pull back once again, then I would look for entries around here and target at least 1 to 2, and the rest is up to you. So this was the EURUSD. So here checking the USD Japanese yen. So pretty much this uptrend is going on. So pretty much a bullish move, and here now breaking the last resistance line. So seems like we have to check the weekly and monthly. So pretty much we have now here kind of a bit of a resistance zone, but the next target would be probably this one. This is where we will head to. 4-hour chart here, pretty high. We broke out of, so trade is pretty simple here. Uptrend, here is an uptrend, here a breakout above the resistance line. So now looking for a retest to the trend line and then go for a buy. Trade is pretty simple on the longer term. 1-hour chart here pushed above the resistance line as well. 30-minute chart moving straight higher. So pretty much here now looking for a pullback to look for an entry. Maybe Here again a breakout out of this consolidation pattern. Now going for the retest. Maybe if you retest once again, we could enter here and go for a 1 to 2. The trade would be pretty simple on the 5-minute chart, something like this. And then go for at least 1 to 2. 1-minute chart. So for now, I'm here looking for entries on the. This is a pretty short term. If you want to enter right here on the 1-minute, 5-minute chart. Otherwise, maybe if you could get closer to the trend line, this is where I would look for longer term buys. But all in all, USDJPY looks like it is going higher, so I'm buying here. So checking the USDCAD. So on a daily, we have this trend line. Now we broke this trend line, rallied all the way, and are now retesting this kind of resistance zone for our chart here. We broke this structure here, but rallied after retesting this one, and here if we draw the trend line, we could still see the retest going all the way up to somewhere around here, since this whole part here is a resistance zone. It's a little bit big, but we could here look for entries to the downside if we see a bearish sign. For now here, still trading below the resistance line, pretty much going higher. Here could be some kind of bullish move now going on, since here is a breakout on USDCAD. Let me check the. Let me just zoom in quickly. So what could happen here is this breakout and then be a buyer all the way up. 5-minute chart, here a break. So the trade would look pretty simple here. If we break above here, this resistance zone, then we could look for entries at this area and target at least here to the previous high, probably even higher, but at least 1 to 2 as always. Here would be depending on your entry and exit, almost free risk reward ratio, but here is somewhere along this line. The resistance line should be in a zone a little bit bigger, so something like this. So here would be the entry if we once break above here and pull back. So this is the USDCAD, checking the, what's it called, the NZDUSD. Taking a look at the daily. So here pretty much downtrend. Here a breakout and now going for a pullback lower once again. For our chart, here this breakout. Quickly the 1 hour chart. So here the break above the trend line. Here this bullish triangle. Here a move to the upside. And now here we broke this line as well as this one. Here now going a little bit for a retest. So initially probably looking here for shorts, since the overall trend is still short. If we quickly check the 30-minute chart. So here, what do we have here? Let's check the 50-minute chart. So here is the trend line. If this would be one. Here again a bit of a break above it. And here is this kind of triangle channel wedge, whatever it is, maybe a bearish flag, which means looking for a break out of this area to the downside, then a retest, and looking for shorts. So this would be the NZDUSD. Let's check the Australian and USD as well. Here pretty much the same pattern as the New Zealand likely. Yeah, well, here a bit of a bigger rally, but here the downtrend, here a breakout. So what happened here? We broke past this resistance zone. Here the false breakout above this trend line, pulled back, rallied, pulled back, rallied. Now retesting this resistance zone as a support zone, so looking for buys here obviously. Here pretty much a nice trend line going on as well. Bit of a taking a look. 30-minute chart, so pretty much here, well, for now we broke this line and this line, and now going for the retest, so maybe we get rejected here, but the overall trend looks still bullish. Well, for now it could be, I mean the overall trend could be changing, is what I mean, because the overall trend still is bearish. If we check the weekly, maybe, yeah, so the overall trend is here kind of bullish, and then here since March 21, so almost a year, is now bearish. But it looks like we will head to this zone, which I was expecting all along. So shorter term we could still go higher. Here the trend line broke above this, so now the retest for this area. So if we maybe pull back once again here and then find some kind of break above this zone again and then a pullback, then I would look for buys here. So this is the Australian USD for now. Here kind of a wedge breaking out, not that much going on the lower time frames. So here at some point we will break out to one of these sides out of this channel that we are trading in right now. So for now I'm still not fond of the Australian USD. Let's check the USD and Swiss franc here on the daily. So pretty much here kind of a double bottom, then moved a bit higher on the 4-hour chart. So here now retesting this smaller resistance zone on the 1-hour chart. So we broke here past almost all of this bearish trend, and now here what we are looking for after such a bullish move on the 1-hour chart is for an entry here and to go all the way up to at least here. So here's what we would look for, buys on the USD Swiss franc 15-minute chart. So here pretty much simple trade as well, looking out for a break out of this zone, retest, and then go with the trend to the upside. Here 5-minute chart pretty much the same, 1-minute chart. So this was the USD Swiss franc as well.